about making sure that we have fed you with enough information to make sure that you run your business well. No stranger at all to the show. She's back in studio. How are you, Fadzy?
I'm great, Like. How are you?
Fantastic. You're great and bubbly as usual.
Excited to be here.
Fantastic. Thanks for making time to be with us once again.
Thank you guys for inviting me.
We are here. Okay. We are here. We are here. Welcome. Green Paper, read your house.
He just released a single yesterday and we should be checking out very soon. So like we said, do remember that we'll be crossing over to the netball pitch later on, and that is courtesy of Plan International, as they are making sure that a netball match between girls from Epworth take on the Jams. We are trying just to put young girls into a picture where they are themselves very confident and also getting into leadership. So they'll be mentored by some of the leaders that will be there and also be inspired by the Jams. It's happening right across the streets in Mbare, and Nyari, one of our own, the big boss actually, will be refereeing that game. So we're looking forward to that. We'll be giving updates from that netball match, and we will be looking forward to that. So let's prepare for that, but we'll get into business essentials in the next 9 minutes. That's at 9:30.
Yeah, there's only one mic.
Okay, say something, please.
Hi.
Still a bit loud. Say something.
Hi.
Okay. And your headphones. Are you okay?
Yeah, I think I'm fine.
Business Essentials is brought to you by First Capital Bank. Believe in the big bank.
Belief comes first, and this is what we concentrate on when we give you this show. And of course, this is Business Essentials, brought to you about making sure that we have fed you with enough information to make sure that you run your business well. No stranger at all to the show. She's back in studio. How are you, Fadzy?
I'm great, Like. How are you?
Fantastic. You're great and bubbly as usual.
Excited to be here.
Fantastic. Thanks for making time to be with us once again.
Thank you guys for inviting me.
Fantastic. So Fadzy Mautsi is a creative content entrepreneur with Bregas House and advertising agency. I know we spoke about this the last time you were here, but perhaps somebody is listening to us for the first time. And so before we even get into digital marketing,
Yes.
Fadzy, take us through what you do as a creative content entrepreneur.
Okay. So as a creative content entrepreneur, I create content for brands online. I create content for personalities online, and I create content for people online. What basically that means is we create stuff and moments that a general Zimbabwean can relate to when they see it on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Google, which also in some cases means that creating content that sells product to customers and consumers.
Take me through this notion that there are people who still feel that social media, online, is still child's play.
Yeah.
And they stay away from it. But you are talking about you're creating content for brands.
Yeah.
So take me through that, and let's speak to that someone who feels social media, online, no.
Okay.
Take me through that.
So essentially what advertising is selling your product or your service to people. And what you're doing when you're doing that is you are going to where your ideal customer is. And in this age where we are living in, because we are consistently revolving as a country or as a world, it means that most of the people are now digital. 1 million people now use their phones. The first thing that they do when they wake up, they open their phone. Either they're on WhatsApp, they're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, they're on Twitter. Wherever they are somehow on a digital platform. So what you need to do now when you own a business is you need to be where the people see you. You need to put your products and your service where everyone can see it. So it's no longer just about I posted a picture of myself at Catchup FM. It's now about I posted a picture of myself telling people that I'm at Catchup FM and I do speaking engagements. So that the next person who sees me can be like, but this girl has been talking before in a platform where hundreds of thousands have listened to her. So she can actually pull off talking at my event. So that's what digital marketing now is. It's no longer just posting a poke to poke someone on Facebook. We're not just poking people now. We are selling our products and making money online.
And we're talking sense.
Yeah.
Now, before we actually get into the actual digital marketing, the whole process,
Yes.
I would like you to explain to me when you say you create content. Let's say Lee K is the company,
Yes.
is the brand, and you say you create content for brand Lee K,
Yeah.
or company Lee K.
Yes.
We were of the notion that Lee K creates his own content.
Yeah.
But when you say that you create content for brand Lee K, what do you mean?
So sometimes brand Lee K is not a creative. Brand Lee K just knows how to deliver service, but he doesn't know how to sell his service and sell his service in a way that talks to the people now. So what I do as a creative is I balance your service and I balance your customers and I mesh it up to come up with a creative way that still communicates your brand values and still talks to your ideal client. So much that when they see Lee K, they'll be like, okay, fine, this is the guy that I want to work with because his brand believes in confidence, his brand believes in faithfulness, right? So I have to find a way to communicate that faithfulness that comes with your brand and still make it make sense to my grandmom who really has just gone on Facebook to look for you.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. We're speaking to Fadzy Mautsi and we want to talk about digital marketing. This show brought to us by First Capital Bank, where belief comes first. And as we talk about digital marketing, just to remind you that do visit any of our branches and make sure that you take advantage of the services that we offer you as First Capital Bank. Now, let's get into digital marketing. Break it down for us. What is digital marketing?
Okay. So digital marketing is where brands come online to advertise or market their product to the general public. In its natural and instance form, that's what it is. A brand will come on Google, a brand will come on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, WhatsApp, and all of these other platforms to say, hey, Lee K, we are selling a savings account. See us, sign up with us. That's essentially what it is. So it's more of taking an advert from a billboard and putting it on Facebook so that you can see it. Because now chances of you looking at the billboard, they are slim because you're going to be looking at your phone while you're passing through a billboard. Yeah. So essentially that's what it is. Taking an advert from a billboard, putting it on Google so that you can see it from your phone.
All right. What would you say has necessitated this move? I know at the end there you did say chances of you looking at maybe a billboard or anything else are smaller than you being online. But what would you say else has necessitated this move to say, hey guys, let's move from these platforms or let's complement these platforms with going on digital?
Yes. So it's digitalization. What it is that we are now in a digital space. And let me probably relate this to COVID-19. Because prior COVID-19, everyone was still, ha, 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 ha.
Yeah.
You know, we're fine with our traditional media. We're fine with billboards. But now the coming in of COVID-19 made us a digital world. We cannot function without digital. We have Zoom coming in. We have Facebook chat rooms coming in. We have WhatsApp voice calls coming in. So what then forced us into that place was a space where we then realized that the world is literally in your hands, but it's just a click away. I can communicate with someone who's in the US and get a job there and work remotely just from my phone. So the world is literally now gone digital. I can't sell my product as a content creator to someone who's in the US if I don't have digital platforms for me. So we are now communicating and we're now in a space where the world is now communicating on one platform in a space of seconds, but using just one or maybe 3 or 4, 5 platforms that are accessible to everyone.
Fantastic. I like the fact that you say this was really pushed, not that it was caused by, it was really pushed by
Yeah.
by COVID-19.
Yeah.
But how would you say this environment has altered the way now we view business?
I think it has really managed to make advertising make sense more, because initially as a country I relate more with Zimbabwe because I feel like we are still trying to catch up with digitalization as a country. I feel like it has really brought us to a space where we're now trying so hard to be like, you know what, in as much as I can have a reach in Zim, I also need an international audience that knows that there is a Fadzy, Arkumbari, and Otengisa thrifted clothes. So once you then increase your reach like that, it means you are accessible to a lot of people, and your brand visibility also grows. Yeah.
We're speaking to Fadzy Mautsi, and we will be coming back straight after this piece of music. But we're talking about digital marketing. What are your thoughts? Are you using digital marketing, or are you still one of those who says, I'll stick to the traditional way of doing things? We still have a number of those doing that, but we also have quite a number of jumped on and seen the opportunities for digital marketing. So let us know on 0719 100 404. This show, Business Essential, brought to us by First Capital Bank. It's 21 before 10. So these guys were actually in Zim for the just ended Stand Big Jacaranda Music Festival, and boy oh boy was it an event and a half. It was fantastic. Yeah, I know we've done great events, but that one was top notch. It really, from the parking actually. That's where I'm serious, Fadzy. You're looking at me, you're thinking, Lee K.
Okay, really?
Yeah. I'm not selling anything because the event is done. But I really have to say, when you get to an event and from the parking, there's people there who tell you where to park.
Yeah.
And your car is generally safe.
Yeah.
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 And it's orderly. Even when you want to go out, it's orderly.
Yeah.
Then even at the entrance, they have as you get into the event, there's clear passages where you're just looking at how the things, how you get in and how you go out. So it's kudos to Walter Wanyanya and the team for bringing that on up. And they also had Bongo Muffin on stage. Beautiful stuff. And Janet Manyor performed for the first time as a gospel artist on that stage. So beautiful stuff. Digital marketing, and you had given us what exactly it is. And I was just thinking that I think you can only ignore digital marketing at your own peril. Yeah. You only ignore it at your own peril. And so somebody will probably ask and say, but you guys are talking about digital marketing, you're talking about numbers. What platforms are we looking at? You said that you want to concentrate on Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
What platforms are we looking at mainly in Zimbabwe to do digital marketing?
Okay. So in Zimbabwe, I would recommend Facebook, number one. I'd recommend Facebook, I'd recommend WhatsApp, and then I'd recommend TikTok. Why in that order? Because Facebook balances everyone in our society. You'll find that my young brother who's in Form 2 has a Facebook account. My mom, who is 56, has a Facebook account. I myself, who's 26, have a Facebook account. So you find the entire country on Facebook, right? Number two, WhatsApp. Every Zimbabweans talk on to share data, trend about Instagram, kind of tweet, but we're sending a WhatsApp bundle, which then essentially means that you can market on WhatsApp and people will be able to see your product there. And then number three, I highly recommend TikTok. Because now, generally, the world is pushing short video content. And the best place to do that is TikTok. YouTube even got like a shock, so much that they had to introduce YouTube Shorts. Instagram was also really so shocked, so much that they had to introduce Instagram Reels. Because TikTok came in as like, guys, I'm coming for your money. And I'm coming for everyone's money. So Facebook, WhatsApp, and TikTok, those will probably be your main leading digital platforms that you're selling on. And then Instagram, Twitter will come in to complement these other platforms, and also Google Ads and YouTube. They'll come to complement these three platforms that you are using as your key place to advertise. Yeah.
Now, we do know that maybe Monday mornings or whichever day that companies choose to have their meetings, they sit in a boardroom.
Yes.
They're deciding. They're making big decisions.
True.
Do you think that these conversations are also happening in the boardrooms? To say, you are saying that TikTok did A, B, C, and D to other platforms, and things are happening on TikTok. Facebook, things are happening on
Very
Facebook.
much so, yeah.
But do you think that we are at a level in Zimbabwe where the big decision makers are actually looking at these platforms and saying, why are we not on these platforms?
Yeah. I don't think we have that. Why do I say that? Because the people who are making decisions now in our country currently, they are not within the digital era. So most of them, they are still in that billboard, radio, TV, which is right, right? But I would encourage a lot of our boards to just try and have at least a young person. Just in those meetings where they say, okay, monthly meeting, report meeting, let's just have one young person who just be sitting and listen. That person is able to then say, guys, I hear you and I understand you. But do you know how many views people are getting on TikTok? Do you know how many views people are getting on Facebook Reels just by posting something? So we still need that balance in our board meetings, and we still need that balance in our marketing teams to say, just one person, a millennial actually, a creative, a millennial who has a creative mind to just come in and sit in and say, guys, we kind of need to go in this direction, to complement the things that you're saying, not to overrule them, but to just add and to say, to complement to what you're saying. I feel like we need to add a TikTok campaign to our campaign.
I think the most interesting part, you spoke about conventional media platforms,
Yes.
radio, television, newspaper, billboards. I think what I can tell you is that all these media platforms have also taken in these platforms.
Yes, true.
So you'll see that radio is on TikTok. Television stations are on TikTok. Newspapers are on Facebook. They're on TikTok.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if these conversations are not happening as much as they should in the boardroom, then there's something that needs to be done to educate the decision makers.
So much, yeah.
Absolutely. So now you've spoken about some of the platforms in Zimbabwe that people can take advantage of.
Yes.
Maybe pick one that you can just take us through.
Okay.
How does it work?
Okay.
You are a creative content. You are a creative content entrepreneur.
Yeah.
How do you handle me as I get into your office and say, help me?
Okay.
Hapana chanoziva apa Fadzy.
Yes.
But ndikungonzwa
Yeah.
vana kumba kwarutaura kuti date business renyu rinofa mukasa.
Yeah.
Which one would you sit me down and say, Like, iwe uri kutengesa huku nemazai? You're not on Facebook, my friend. You're not on. Which one would you recommend? And just take me through how you then educate me.
Okay, so I'd recommend Facebook and TikTok. I believe so much in short video content at the moment. So, and the beautiful part about it is now you can do your short videos and post them across platforms. Now, because these platforms also, like I said earlier on, they were threatened by TikTok. So they've created platforms where they can also share short videos. But to answer your question, I'd recommend Facebook for you. So I'd first teach you the business side of Facebook. Number one,
So there is a business
there's
side
a
of
business
Facebook.
side of Facebook, yeah. So number one, you need a Facebook page. What does a Facebook page do to you? Instead of having an account then limits the number of people that you are friends with. A Facebook page doesn't limit. So you can have 1 million people follow you. You can have 500 million people like your page. That means 500 million people are seeing your product. So number one, we go through a page, right? Number two, we then teach you the branding side of what your page should look like. A cover page, a profile picture, a message that replies to people when they text you, right? A message that you use when you're replying to comments. When people ask you, I saw this and such, do you have it? A standard message that you're then supposed to use to communicate to your clients with, right? Number three, we add your WhatsApp or your phone number or your message that people can use to like get in touch with you instantly to say, okay, fine, I'm calling Like now, I need such and such a service. Those are like the main basics that I'll go through with you. And then after that, we then go through the content creation side of it to say, Like, we all know things are wuku. So this is how we can sell you. Because trust me, there is content for every business. There is content for every business. It doesn't mean to say because the thing is wuku, how can I create content about that? We can start with you going to buy your huku, you making sure that your chirugu is clean. That's content that people need to see, that people can relate with for your business. Yeah, so that's basically the process that we go through. And then after that, now, because I create content for you, I'll create a content plan for you. So half of the things that you then see on Facebook, they've been created in advance. Because now as a content creator, I know that Christmas is coming up. I know that New Year is coming up. I'm already thinking about the things that I can do for your brand online in that regard. So I'll then send you a content plan to say, okay, fine, this is what we're thinking of doing in December. Do you approve? When you approve, we schedule. When we schedule our content, we start working on the next month or on the next quarter. Yeah.
Interesting features. And
Yeah.
I bet you a lot of people on Facebook don't know that.
They don't.
It's my reply emojis
Yeah.
and whatnot.
They don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't actually, because so there's a lot to learn.
There's a lot to learn.
So where does someone go to understand digital marketing?
They can call me. Yeah.
One.
They can call me,
Yeah.
or they can go online, right? Online, you can go on YouTube, you can go on Facebook. There are people who are posting these tutorials, you know, for them to teach you to say. And I think the beautiful thing about digital marketing is because we're still learning, right? Like the education and the knowledge about it is accessible anywhere and everywhere. You can walk up to me and ask me, Fadzy, how do I sell my content on WhatsApp? And I'll tell you in my sleep, right? You can go on YouTube and say how to start a YouTube channel, how to start a Facebook page, and that content is there. So go online, search. There's also a school, Marketers Association of Zim. It's also offering digital classes for people. You can go there, enroll, register, learn, and start marketing your business online.
Yeah, I actually believe that people need to be schooled about some of these issues, because again, I'll go back and say some people still feel that it's child's play. But then you look at some of the brands, the big brands that are on those platforms.
Yeah.
You look at some of the big stars that are on those platforms. It should tell you that there's something
There's
definitely
something. Yeah.
happening here. We're about to end our conversation.
Yes.
But let me know also, Fadzy, what then would you say distinguishes digital marketing from other forms of marketing?
The number of people who are there on those platforms. Like I said, Like, you're in a car, you're in a combi, you're in a taxi. Chances of you looking in front of you, kuti uone kuti pane billboard, they are so slim because you're trusting the driver to be doing his job, right? What are you doing? You're listening to a podcast on your phone, you're scrolling through Facebook, you're scrolling through Instagram, you're laughing at TikTok skits, right? So most of the people are now digital. Even Mama wangu nini chayo chayo. She TV nenge player, but she's not watching TV. She's probably laughing at my TT on TikTok, you know. So most of the people are now on digital. TV is there because we are still attached to it. We still have that nostalgia to it. But TV, most of the time, people are now on Netflix. People are now on Showmax. So it's where the people are. It's where their eyes are. It's where people are spending half of their hours on. Yeah.
So that will be the biggest distinguishing factor. As we end our discussion today on digital marketing, Fadzy, I would like you to speak to someone, first of all, who is not on any digital platform.
Yes.
Let's not talk about marketing yet. An individual who's listening now,
Yeah.
what are they missing out on? An individual saying, in Facebook, in TikTok, just speak to that individual who's not on any of those platforms.
Okay. So I'll say this in vernacular, right? Check tanga vanhu vari pa Facebook, vanhu vari pa TikTok, vanhu vari pa Twitter. Kana uchida kutengesa brand rako, kana uchida kutengesa service yako, make sure kuti une platform that speaks to those people. Because my customers ako ndo paari. Vanhu vari kuda kutengesera ndo pavari. Inini Fadzy chida kutonditengesera hembe yekubhero. Ndotanga ndatarisa kuti une Facebook page yedu. Ndoda kuona zvimwe zvinhu zvawakambotengesa before. Feedback yachona ndopa iri kutobva futi kuti ndinzwisise kuti customer service yako yakamira sei. Chances of me kuti ndiye kumbare, chances of me kuti ndiende kuSouthampton ndichibva kuMount Pleasant, they are very slim. Saka ndoda kutanga ndaona pa Facebook, ndoda kutanga ndaona pa Twitter kuti number 1 utoripo here, number 2 zvinhu zvautengesa zvinhu chaizvo here. Saka please ndapota ndiri kukumbirawo kuti muvhure ma-platforms aya. They'll do wonders for your business.
Fantastic.
They'll really do wonders. And I think another thing that people don't realize is when you're starting out, right, these platforms, you can use them for free because they are also making money from me. So what these guys have allowed us to do is I can sell my business, I can market my business organically for free. We'll then get into the boosting side of things in another discussion.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's another thing that we're going to discuss.
Yes.
Fadzy Mounty, it's been absolutely fantastic having you once again in studio.
Thank you for having me.
I got very interested when you said she's literally begging for your own good, actually.
Yeah.
For your own good. She's literally begging me to please let's meet on these platforms.
Yes.
But I hear why you're saying that.
Yeah,
I
it's
totally
important.
hear why you're saying that. And I would urge businesses, I would urge individuals to make sure that they're on these platforms for the betterment of their products, for
Yeah.
the betterment of their brand, and just to keep yourself in the know.
Yeah.
It's always good to keep yourself in the know. Rasikirwe, information rasikirwe, more opportunity. And I'm sure that's where you also see a lot of competition there.
Yes,
How
true.
do I compare brands?
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming through, Fadzy.
Thank you so much for having me, Like.
And thank you very much for everybody who's been listening. We are now standing by for the news at 10 o'clock. Thereafter, we come back with some more on the Capital Crunch.